Good morning and welcome back to Brodeur Land. It is day 3 for week 4. Hopefully you guys have knocked off the first 2 days, but let's jump into what today's lesson is today. And what I like about today's lesson is it's kind of a little bit of a breather. Hopefully it's not too much of a challenging day today, but let's take a look. Today it asks us to create a bar graph, and we got to use the 5 counties in Georgia that currently have the most cases of the coronavirus. And when we make our bar graph, it says we need to make sure that we use the proper category names, numbers, and counties, and then we just need to see that picture, so upload it. So take a look over here. I'm going to show you what I've set up so far for my bar graph over here. Right here is kind of the basics, the bones of everything that you need to start with. First, you need a main title. For me, I just named it Coronavirus in Georgia, the top 5 counties. You could call the top 5 counties in Georgia with coronavirus, just some type of title that pretty much tells a reader exactly what the bar graph is going to illustrate. Second thing, I made myself a little XY axis right here just to kind of get my bars situated once I start to draw them. Second thing, I need labels on my y-axis and I need labels on my x-axis. So my title on my y-axis is going to be the cases reported, the coronavirus cases reported. Down here, I put my county names because that's where we're going to put our top 5 counties. Now let's talk about the counties right here. So of course, this recording that I'm doing at the moment is just a little bit earlier than Wednesday when you would start to do this lesson. So just know if when you go and look up the numbers on Wednesday, if they're slightly different, if a county moved down or up, that might be why I'm just doing this recording a little bit earlier to make sure I have it for you guys on Wednesday. Now, right here, the top 5 counties currently are Fulton, Dougherty, DeKalb, Cobb, and Gwinnett. So those are our top 5 counties at the moment. Also, right here, I've written my numbers going up by 100s, and once I pop up what these totals are in a second, I will help to explain why I went up by 100. So let's take a look. It looks like currently Fulton is 1,598 cases currently. Dougherty is 1,217. DeKalb is 980. Cobb, we got 782. And then Gwinnett, we got 739. So those are our top 5. Now clearly right here, this can kind of illustrate why I went by hundreds. The reason why is if I went by tens, that would be a lot of tens going up to get to 1,598. Also, I didn't want to go by 200s because some of these are only off by like 100 or so, and if I went by 200, it might have been harder to kind of estimate where my bar graph went. And I thought by just going by 100s, that gives me like 15 or 16 marks I need to do, and I thought that was not too bad. So now we're going to start to make our bars. So clearly this one's going to go pretty much up to the top to where I have about 1,600. So I'll make my bar graph go up there. All right, Dougherty right here is about 1,200, so I'm going to go about a little over 1,200, so maybe like right there, and make the bar graph for Dougherty. All right, DeKalb is 980, so that's going to be slightly under my 1,000 mark, so I'll go over right kind of underneath my 1,000 mark. And I'll raise that little extra stray mark. All right, Cobb, we have 782, so I'd go to about 800 right here, maybe slightly below, and then just kind of go over from there and mark Cobb. And then Gwinnett is 739, so not as high as Cobb, slightly down, maybe like if this is middle in between 800 and 700, maybe slightly below the middle. So we'll go slightly below the middle right there. And so I have my 5 bar graphs. Now, you don't necessarily have to put them in order from greatest to least and things like that. I just happened to because it was easier when I was reading it online, and so I just happened to put them in that order. Now, some people might have a question like, Mr. Brodeur, you have gaps in between these bars. Like, I just put mine side by side, like you just connected them. Be careful, we wanted you to do a bar graph. Do not connect your bars. Make sure there's gaps in between. If you connect them, that would actually be a histogram, and that wouldn't be actually the right graph to do for here. You would actually want to do a bar graph because you're dealing with categories down here. So that would be one thing you would want to make sure not to do. So all in all, this is what you need to make sure you do for bar graphs. Have your title, have your labels on the left and right for your Y and your X axis. Make sure you have the counties, and then also make sure you go up. I would suggest by 100, it's going to be a little bit easier, and make sure you have gaps in between your bars. So all in all, I hope this helps on day 3. Again, I don't think today is such a challenging day. It's just making sure you have what you need to get full credit on this day. So just let us know. Ask your teachers. Send us emails. Let us know what you have questions on. But until next time, Brodeur out. Peace.